Israel is drawing down its ground operations in Gaza, but continues to hit targets from the air and sea. An early strike this morning took out a leader of the radical group Islamic Jihad. Meanwhile, Israel's prime minister suggested his nation is finding allies for a bigger battle, this one against Iran. CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell has the news from Jerusalem.
Israel made a surprise move by pulling forces from parts of the Gaza Strip, while still vowing to respond against any Hamas attacks. But the most profound legacy of this military operation may be an emerging regional alliance to combat Iran. Netanyahu announced a new level of regional cooperation that he said would surprise many. He added it would be a very important asset to the state of Israel. It's a move that may indicate a major shift in the Middle East.
Perhaps for the first time in its history, Israel finds itself a kind of de facto member of one regional camp, arrayed against another.
Middle East expert Jonathan Spire says this unprecedented alliance unites Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel to face their common enemy, Iran.
So there's a sense in which this emergent alliance is an alliance of countries associated or allied with the US, but which are nevertheless deeply disappointed or dismayed at the direction that US policy has taken on a number of Middle Eastern files, and perhaps most importantly on the issue of Iranian nuclear ambitions.
CBN News analyst John Waggy says Netanyahu and other regional players feel the US and the West won't stop Iran's nuclear program, so they must be ready.
The bigger picture is Netanyahu cannot afford only to concentrate on this terrible problem with Hamas in Gaza. Hamas is small potatoes compared with Iran. He does have to deal with the threat because it's immediately threatening to the citizens of southern Israel especially, but he can't focus just on that. And he may need to make some regional cooperation with some allies like Egypt and potentially even Saudi Arabia in order to deal with the larger threats like the nuclear one from Iran.
Spire says this new regional alliance sees the U.S. aligning with the wrong people. One example came when Secretary of State John Kerry tried to broker a ceasefire with Qatar and Turkey, two states that financially support Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood.
It's bringing in the very forces that are supporting Hamas, the very forces that come from a similar ideology to Hamas, the very forces that are staunchly opposed to Israel and staunchly opposed to the Western interest and staunchly in favor of the Muslim Brotherhood.
With or without the U.S., it seems this potential alliance feels they may face Iran alone. Hamas may have attacked Israel, but it also may have helped bring a region together to face the Middle East's biggest threat, a nuclear Iran. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.